folks, coming from a sunny London on a beautiful Saturday evening. Hope you're all well. If you like my content, like, share, comment, subscribe. I thought I'd come to the park a bit later today because it was a beautiful day and it's quite busy with people. What I wanted to talk about today was betrayal trauma and how does one get over said betrayal trauma and move on. So you may have recently gotten yourself untangled from a relationship with a toxic person, or have been out of it for a while, but you still feel the pain and the ache of the betrayal. Part of you thinks to yourself, well, why do I feel like this? Why should I feel like this? You know, however long it's been. In my case, it's been 9 months and I still feel that sense of betrayal and it sits uneasy, and it doesn't have to be 9 years for you to feel this way, or 19 years. Betrayal is betrayal. And it can hit deep, no matter what. This channel here is, as I said in my first video, to let you know that you don't need to invalidate your experience because you feel like you weren't with the toxic person for years. You didn't give years away of your life. It was just a few months, but it hit deeply. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling that way. Congratulate yourself for leaving early. It's not a badge of martyrdom to stay longer than you should have in a toxic relationship. But here we go. You feel the hurt still. The injustice. I think it's the injustice because you know that to walk in integrity, you don't need to involve yourself in petty betrayals. You don't need to get your own retribution. You need to move on. And that means walking away. But if you're not used to doing that, if you're not used to walking away and taking no action against the betrayer, and it's something that you wouldn't normally do, you normally seek justice or retribution, then it's going to hit hard. And it's not just about ego. Yes, there's ego involved, but you just feel that there's a sense of injustice, and it also depends on how the other person responds, the betrayer, how they respond to the betrayal. If they minimize it, if they minimize the betrayal, if they sweep it under the carpet, if they act like it didn't even happen, then that's going to hurt more. That's going to be more difficult to get over. Of course, you can get over it, but it's just an additional hurdle to overcoming that obstacle, basically. But the main thing is that they're out of your life. So you may have felt betrayed. It's not always knowing infidelity. Quite commonly it is, but it might not be. It could just be a case of future faking. You know, in my case, it was a case of being future faked, being love bombed, future faked, and me trying to get reassurance that the person was sure, and them gaslighting me and saying that I was worrying them because I seemed unsure. But don't ever let anyone gaslight you. Looking back in retrospect, there's a reason why I felt that way. And if you feel that way, if you asked questions because you weren't sure at the pace of what things were going, the way that they were moving forward, the speed, or the person's actions and words weren't aligning, then of course it's going to make you ask questions. If what's happening isn't deemed as normal to your psyche, of course you're going to ask questions. But don't let anyone gaslight you and turn it around and deflect it and say, oh, well, you know, you're the one asking the questions and I've told you everything's okay and you're worrying me. That's deflection, okay? That is deflection. That's not even allaying your concerns. That's not even answering your questions. In my case, I got the gaslighting, and I also got the plans of starting a business and, you know, living together, starting a new life. You know, quit my job. And I came back to pack up all my things and get ready to go, you know, and to find out that the person was future faking me came as a big betrayal, especially when you know you've asked the person and you've given them plenty of opportunities to tell you the truth, but they're the ones pushing things forward, wanting things to progress, and then they betray you. Then you find out that they bring nothing but chaos and drama and push you away, and their actions and their words don't reconcile. Then you're left with the conundrum of what do you do? But I would say if the actions and the words don't reconcile, it doesn't matter what way the actions and the words are. So if the actions are, I can't stand you, or there's drama, or there's disrespect, but they're telling you that they love you and they want to be with you, then there's a disparity there. Equally so, if they're telling you they can't stand you, but they're treating you like the world, then again, there's a disparity there. And as far as I'm concerned, if there's a disparity, then there's a problem. There's always going to be a problem if there's a disparity. So with regard to the betrayal, this is why it can be hard for many of us. Don't listen to people minimizing and dismissing your experience by telling you, you should get over it. You should be able to get over it by now. Their experience of whatever they've gone through in their history and your experience are not the same, okay? So anyone minimizing your pain and your experience and saying, why don't you just get over it? Stop talking to them about your situation. Number one, don't talk to them again about it, because it's quite clear that they don't understand what you're going through. And that just tells you there and then that you don't have any business telling them any of your business. They could be a friend on other things if you still want that. But personally for me, if I have a friend and they minimize my experiences, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. So the betrayal itself can cut deep. And not only does it make you feel like you can't trust them, you know you can't trust that person that betrayed you, that Judas, but you also feel like you can't trust yourself. You feel a sense of core shame, because you know that they could never have betrayed you unless you enabled it. And many times we do, because we don't hold strong enough boundaries. And that could be because we don't want to lose the idea of being with someone that we think loves us and we love them. And we could have been going along, bumbling along perfectly fine before, but then we meet that person that mirrors us, and basically we think we found our soulmate, twin flame, the person that we will be with for life. And of course, if they're mirroring us, we're going to feel like that because we fell in love with ourselves. If the person is mirroring you and your qualities and your attributes, then you're of course going to feel like, wow, this person and I have so much in common. It's like a hand in a glove, and it's just amazing. And basically you come to find out that it's all fake. It's all fake, and you never knew that person. So now, not only do you have to get over the betrayal of them future faking you, them mirroring you, you giving up and sacrificing many things to be with them. You know, whether it be money, house, moving to another country to be with them, anything like that, you know, leaving family and friends behind, all of that, to find out that this person was a fraud. The betrayal will run deep. It's different if someone cons you. You buy something from someone and it turns out to be a dud. That's one thing. But when it comes to relationships ongoing, be it family, particularly intimate relationships, then that betrayal is going to run deep, very deep, and leave trauma. Because it's ongoing betrayal. It's not a one-off betrayal. It's ongoing. And it's conspired. This person's conspired to do this against you. And when you think about the betrayal and you think you did nothing but help to uplift them, love them, want to build, have a legacy, be a team, and want nothing but the best for both of you. And you would, if they were in hell, you would go to hell and get them out. You'd fight every demon. You fight every demon to get them out. And you would come out triumphant. That's how you feel. And then you find out that they betrayed you, and you don't even know the reason why, when you've been nothing but good. Because ordinary good-hearted people would not betray someone that is nothing but good to you. You wouldn't. So it's hard to get your head around the fact that there are people out there that will try to destroy you just because they can. And it means nothing to them. Nothing that you are a good person, that you've been good to them and shown them nothing but love and compassion, respect, honesty, safety, security. And they turn it round and they stab you in the back, and you find out that if you were on fire, they wouldn't even put you out. Yet you were willing to sacrifice the world for them. This runs deep. And this is not something that is easy to get over. You will get over it. Of course you will. But it's one of those things that you will think to yourself, why am I still ruminating? Why are they still on my mind? It's not that they're on your mind for wishing to be back with them. It's just your mind is trying to understand. The reason why they're on your mind is because your mind is trying to understand what happened. What is the reason why they did this? Where is the justice? And your mind is trying to understand, to keep you safe, basically, to ensure that this doesn't happen again. And subconsciously, your body may not feel safe for a long time because your body stores the memories of the betrayal. Your psyche and your body. Your body retains memories differently to the way that your subconscious and consciousness does. So, you know, you've got that there. And so you will ruminate. You may ruminate for a month, a year. Not even just a month. What am I saying? Months, years, depending. And I feel like that can be quite torturous. It can be like death by 1,000 paper cuts, because that is something that is in your mind every single day. Your mind's trying to work through it, trying to make sense of things, even though it's not necessarily a conscious focal point in your mind. It's there, it's always there in the background, and this will take time. And this betrayal trauma will also make you reassess other relationships, friends, family, colleagues, acquaintances. You'll reassess it all. And you may find that you end up removing most, if not all. Don't be surprised if you remove everyone from your life. Everyone. You start a clean slate, and there'll be a while where you just have no one. It's just you alone, and that's it. But in that time, just embrace the peace. Don't look at it as a void, as loneliness. Just embrace the peace and know that you're making space for something better. You're not losing anyone. You're making space for better to come. You're not going to attract the right kind of people in the right dimension of consciousness if you have these low vibrational people around you. And as far as I'm concerned, people that betray you, think to yourself, what can I learn from this? Not why did they do it to me, but pick up yourself, pick up the pieces of yourself from the smouldering embers of the betrayal fire. Put yourself back together slowly, on your own timeline, in your own time, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How did this happen? What were my blind spots? Where were my blind spots that allowed and enabled this person to do this to me? And it's not really about why they did it to you, because they did it because they did it. They did it because they could. And it doesn't matter the reasons why, their reasons why they did what they did. But if you think back, then you probably can, in a sense, go back to the crime scene and just think about things logically, not emotionally, logically. What can you learn from this? What were your blind spots? How can you prevent this from happening again? And one of the main things that you can do is, and it's said so many times, is just take your time. Take your time and work out how a person makes you feel, okay? What they do and how they make you feel. Not what they do for you, but how they make you feel. And go by that, how they make you feel. And if their words and their actions match in a positive way, both need to be positive. One can't be positive and the other negative. They both have to be positive for things to work. And, you know, work on your boundaries, basically. But know that once you reflect, not blame yourself, not let that inner critic tear you to pieces. I'm talking reflect on where your blind spots were and what patterns and red flags of concern you ignored, bypassed. Then if you do that and you realise, you recognise, then you store that knowledge for future use later down the line. And that knowledge can be for any type of relationship, friendship, familialship that you come into, so that you can trust yourself. Because part of the betrayal response, trauma response, is you not being able to trust yourself, you doubting yourself. It knocks your self-esteem, your faith and trust in yourself and other people as well. But use this period to sharpen your sword of discernment. And as I said, Just because you were in a relationship with a toxic person for 3 months, 6 months, it doesn't invalidate your experience. Your experience is your experience. And it's like the analogy of the frog in the pot. Some people can sit in the pot for a lot longer than others. Some people can be the frog that sat in the pot on the stove from cold until they're almost boiling. They're almost boiled frog. And others get out a lot sooner. You know, so we're all going through this experience, whether it's 3 months, 3 years, 30 years, okay? It's just as valid. So anyway, those are my words of wisdom today, my friends. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and always remember we're going from surviving to thriving. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.